Hi there, everybody, and welcome to our culinary journey. I'm Luca Paris, and our journey today takes us back to Grandma's house, and, well, my grandmother at least, and Italian Sunday dinner. I have a couple of firefighters with me. They're going to enjoy this meal. I'm going to make homemade braciole, sausage, homemade meatballs. We're going to put in this wonderful marinara sauce, add some pasta and garlic bread, and you're going to have one of the most amazing Sunday dinners anywhere, everywhere. Hey, I've already had some Chianti. So the show is just going to be a lot of fun because you need some Chianti wine to go with Sunday dinner and the garlic bread and the sausage and the bracioles, and your culinary journey starts now. You guys don't hear the music, but it's going. Hi there, I'm Luca Paris, and welcome back to A Culinary Journey. If you heard on the way out, we have a nice big audience, and we have a couple of great guests. We have Mike and Dan from the fire department here in Keene. Gentlemen, how you doing?
Very well.
I got your name right, huh?
Doing great.
That's beautiful. That's the most important thing I have to do is get your name right, because the rest is easy. We're going to do Sunday dinner the way my grandmother used to make it, and my mom, and we're going to have some really great fun. Sounds good?
Awesome.
All right, interject whenever you want, gentlemen. There's some grape juice in front of you. We make it look like wine, but it's there. So anyway, what I'm going to do first, we've got to make our Sunday dinner, and we start with our, what people like to call gravy, right? It's that Italian gravy. Well, that's a misnomer. It's actually a sauce. There's no such thing as gravy in Italian, but that's a whole nother show that I could spend on it. So in our, marinara sauce, it's going to have a lot of nice meat. We're going to put braciole, or bracioles, as most people know them by, and hot sausage and homemade meatballs. So the first two segments, we're going to concentrate on making the braciole, getting them in there, making the meatballs, getting those in there, and then we're going to get that whole sauce going, get our pasta going, garlic bread, and by the time we're all said and done, we'll have a great, great meal to enjoy. All right, so the first thing I want to do is the braciole. What I have here are two pork cutlets from the pork butt, which is actually the shoulder, and why they name it, don't ask me, I have no idea. It doesn't even look like what it sounds like. So what's great about the pork shoulder, the meat from the shoulder, is that it has a nice amount of fat in it. It's not really lean like you do pork loin. Now, if you can't find it, that's fine. You could do pork loin. It's a little bit leaner, but it'll work just as well. You just want to cook it for less time. And since our stew here is going to cook for an hour or two in real time, we're going to want something that's a little fatty and the sinew and the tissue break down, and then it comes out really soft and melty and wonderful. So we're going to add some ingredients to the pork. We're going to move this up here just a little bit. We're going to put some cheese in there, provolone cheese. If you can find like the dry Italian provolone cheese, that's a great way to go, but the slicing provolone is wonderful. Also, you go to your store, your deli counter, and you just ask for a big chunk of provolone that you're going to cut up into pieces. We'll put that right in there. All right, so we get some provolone. Then we're going to get some roasted garlic, and we're going to get that in there. Now, the roasting of the garlic is wonderful. It makes it nice and sweet and flavorful, and we're going to put some roasted garlic in, and I like using my hands. This is how you cook, right, Dan?
Absolutely.
Just stick your hands in everything and just let it go.
The guys at the firehouse don't care.
They don't care. So you gentlemen both do a lot of cooking at the firehouse, right?
Yeah.
Or, yeah? You enjoying it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's the best part of the day.
Absolutely. Lunch and dinner.
Lunch and dinner.
If we get to eat it.
Right, and then, so how many times have you started cooking and then had to leave?
It happens all the time.
On a
Yeah.
regular basis. Yeah.
Usually when it's just about done.
When it's ready,
Yeah.
and you're ready to get out there and enjoy.
So the overtime guys get to come in and eat supper and dinner.
So I put a little parsley in here in the braciole. These are easy to make. This is something you can make in advance if you're going to make the sauce. And actually, here's a trick, guys. If you're going to make this at the fire department, and you want to do this in advance, this is great in advance. I mean, we're talking about make this whole sauce, sit it in the refrigerator, and let it sit there, pull it out the next day, or even freeze it. Boom, it's a phenomenal sauce to use anytime. So we have our braciole that we're gonna tie up in a second. I'm gonna put some grated Parmigiano cheese in there also. And all these flavors, when they start cooking in the sauce, the provolone will kind of melt into the sauce a little bit. It's absolutely wonderful. So we'll roll these up, just like a rollatini would be, right? We're actually gonna get these cooking pretty quickly. So, all right. So we just tie these up. Get a little bit of string going. There you go. Are there any special fireman knots that I should know about? No?
Probably not during cooking, though.
I don't need them today. There you go. We'll get like 4 pieces of string. You can use a toothpick if you like for something like this. But just basically 4 pieces of string with some kitchen shears. We'll get this. We'll just tie each end because we want this to be easy to pull off. You don't need anything special around here. And then we can just pull these right off, and they'll come. It'll be just melt in your mouth pork. Now I have some hot sausage with that. We're going to get these searing in our pan. And this is what we're going to do. We're going to finish these up. We're going to take a quick little break. We're going to get you guys some more grape juice so you're a little more talkative. Okay? And then we'll start putting together the sauce. You two are going to make us the garlic bread today, which you can't have an Italian Sunday dinner without some really good garlic bread. And look at that. Bingo. Wait till we come back from our break to put these in and snip these. Hey, folks, you guys don't go away because when we come back, we're going to be putting more of this sauce together. We'll be making our meatballs. Dan and Mike are going to be making our garlic bread, and it just gets better from there. So don't go away. Hey everybody, we are back on our culinary journey, and we're going into the Italian Sunday dinner. Braciole, mozzarella, braciole, provolone stuffed inside with some hot sausage, meatballs, great flavors in this beautiful sauce that we can't go wrong. So we have made our braciole. We're going to get them in the pan and start them searing up because we want to get them cooking and get this really nice sear on them. We'll season on the outside. So far, so easy, guys?
Absolutely.
Right? All right, I'm going to make my meatballs. Now, this is a secret I don't tell anybody, so please, just between us two.
Absolutely.
And then, oh, okay, all right, forget about it. It's all out there. Well, we're going to put an egg in there. It's nice and loud. We're going to put some breadcrumbs. I use some panko breadcrumbs, right? We're going to use a little mixture of dry herbs. Now, I usually like to use fresh herbs, but because meatballs are going to cook a long time, fresh herbs are going to cook out. All that flavor is going to disappear. So what I like to do is use dry herbs that are going to get reconstituted in the meatballs and then in the sauce, and their flavor will start bursting out for the long term. We'll put a little bit of that, just a touch, not too much, of hot pepper, some roasted garlic oil. I like the way I'm already hearing mms and ahs. We have a little Ariosto spice that we use at the restaurant. It's basically a blend of 13 spices. You've heard me talk about it on the show. If you haven't, you're learning about it now. It's yummy. And my secret ingredient, whole grain mustard. Why whole grain mustard? Can you taste it? Well, you really don't taste it, but it allows more moisture into the dish. Where you would normally have the moisture just from the cream or the milk that's used in it and the eggs, the whole grain mustard just gives it a little more bounce of flavor, some really interesting things, and you'll absolutely love it. And we add a little cream because this is for the breadcrumbs. All right? Actually, I thought you guys were going to make the
Yeah, I mean, to mix
There you
these
go.
up.
That's good.
Perfect. Thanks.
That's one of the good things about me having my own show is I get to make people do that. Have fun with that, Dave.
Absolutely.
You're gonna flip over. You get a shot of the pork to see how it's already starting to sear on one side and the other. We'll turn that on a nice low. You having fun there?
You get a bowl for him?
No, no. He's got the bread. And you're gonna make, Mike, you're gonna make the garlic bread for us while Dan's doing that. I was wondering how I could get away without putting my hands into that bowl. I just realized that. Now, garlic bread seems pretty simple, right? What we're going to do is just put garlic on the bread. But I don't want just the garlic on the bread. I want you to smear the roasted garlic onto the bread nice and heavy so it's all sitting there. Yeah. And then we'll salt and pepper it. I guess this will be enough for the three of us right now. There you go. I want you to take a look at that. All right. How we doing?
We're getting there.
Yeah, that's
Ready
for
for
you.
it?
You got to sink back. Oh, you can't get up, so you can't do anything. So we're going to get some meatballs together. Now, what's going to be great about the meatballs, again, is It's all about the flavor. You smell the mustard?
Yeah.
You really don't
Smells
get
good.
that much when it's cooked down, but it's got some great moisture to it. And we're going to just get that, roll those into the meatballs and get them right into our sauce here. And they hold together absolutely beautiful. Now remember, this is a long cooking sauce, so when we're cooking it for a long time, you want the meatballs to stay soft, but you don't want them to break apart. I don't want to make a meat sauce out of this. I want the red sauce to be right around the meatballs. So, how about one more? The rest we'll save for later. Everybody enjoying the smell so far? Doing okay? Yeah, really? Is that how you tell me? Tell me. There we go. All right. Emerald never has a problem with that. He has some guy that holds up a sign, you know? All right, so we got the meatballs in there. Some good Italian sausage. If you can make your own, that's wonderful. Find a great place to get Italian sausage, do that. We're just going to cut them right off of there. Now, I like to blanch my sausage ahead of time, because by blanching the sausage ahead of time, you won't have the tears like this, and you get rid of some of the fat. However, when I'm making this sauce, I want as much of the fat as possible. You see, back in the day, the Italians didn't worry about how much fat went into their sauce, and they all did pretty well. Until you become a grandmother, all Italians stay thin, and then when they become grandmothers and grandfathers, they all grow this way. And it's pretty cool. It's just the way we grow. Things have changed just because we don't have Sunday dinner enough. And how's your hands? You all right?
Yeah, great.
I never gave you a garlic.
I'm waiting on the stuff.
There you go. Get onto that. We're going to put some grated cheese on top of that with that. Use your hands. Go
Want
right.
the garlic and everything?
Garlic oil. Make sure you get some of that oil on top of there, right?
Got it.
Yeah, go to town. Have fun with that.
Thanks.
All right, so we have meatballs, we have sausage. We're going to add some garlic into this also. And we're going to just chop up some fresh garlic. And we get a clean board of that.
Doing great. Doing great.
Get too excited. So how long you gentlemen been on the force? On the squad, force, what's it called?
Fire department?
Fire department. This is my show. So how long you been doing this?
11 years for me.
11 years? Dan?
It's 7.
7?
Yep.
And it's always been in Keene?
I started in Hanover and transferred to Keene.
Wow, awesome. All right, so we have some big pieces of garlic. If you don't like garlic, you're going to find those later. But they'll cook down nicely, and they'll almost get that roasted feel to it, the way that the roasted garlic that Mike is smearing all over our bread is. That's awesome.
Having a good time.
Yeah, I can see that.
Smells good.
And great. Wait till you go to work later, and that's all you're smelling.
I'm off.
All right, so we're going to get this on a little bit higher. We're going to sear in the meatballs a little more and the sausage. We're going to get those cooking. Right. At the same time, I'm working on, maybe I should turn this on. When you turn on your water, it'll boil. So we'll get our pasta in later on. And then, I think that looks good. You're almost there?
Almost.
I'm ready for my next step, so I'm
right.
waiting on you now.
Hey, want me to hold it up?
All right, you
Show?
can use one of those napkins right there.
Thanks.
All right, we'll put a little bit of extra oil on it because this is going to grill up nicely. You giving some to Dan?
Yeah.
There you go. Put some grated cheese on this because garlic bread without grated cheese is just garlic bread without grated cheese. There you go. A little bit of that Ariosto spice, right? Well, what Mike did for us though, he just rubbed that garlic into it so we get all that garlic flavor. So much better than just like garlic powder. If you want to roast your own garlic, you could have it in your refrigerator under the oil for like a week at a time. You could use it for a lot of different things. So we're going to get that on a pan and we're going to get that in the oven. Here we go. We have all our stuff kind of searing there. And let's flip over. Oh, look at those meatballs. They look great. You don't all see it. I do. And the folks at home get to see it. But yeah, we'll sear the meatballs, get those sides over. The sausage is cooked. We have the garlic in there. Salt and pepper in stages. I use kosher salt, so I'm not over salting. I'm just adding more because now we're going to add a product, our tomatoes. Good Italian plum tomatoes are the way to go. If you spend a little bit extra on the tomatoes, you won't have to add sugar because a lot of people put sugar in their sauces. No sugar needed if the tomatoes are not very acidic. And then we'll just get the tomatoes in there. And they've been hand crushed. Good thing that I crushed them ahead of time, Dan, 'cause that was your next
Yeah.
job. You didn't think you'd have to work this much, huh? I told you were going to do a little bit. All right, so that needs to get down. We need to get the garlic bread in the oven, get our water boiling. Whew, get some herbs in there at the last minute, and then we are going to eat and enjoy ourselves because we put a lot of time and effort into this. So don't go away. We'll be back in a culinary minute. Hey, welcome back, everybody, and we are finishing up our pasta and our garlic bread, making sure I don't burn it. So we're going to take a step forward in time here. This is what I have with my sauce. It's coming together really nicely. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add some red wine to it before these gentlemen drink it all, and we'll get that over there. I'll get this on this side. All right. And then we're going to mix that in. Now, like the red wine, I don't want to lose all of its flavor or flambe it or anything like that. I just want the red wine to bring out some more of the acidity of the tomatoes to balance off with the cheese and the flavor and the garlic. And oh man, this is yummy. Now, if you take a step back, we have a finished product over here where you see some of the yummy grease that we talked about. You know, we don't want to get rid of any of that fat because it's delicious. And we have the pork bracioles. Now, over here, I have my pasta cooking, jumping around. And one of the coolest thing in the world is a pasta cooker. Here, we want to drain it nicely. You want to get all that water out, right? But you don't want to shock it. You don't want to get any. You just want to go right from this to your pan. Let's get the water out. This is why we drain it this way. And we don't use any oil. Now, the reason we don't use any oil in the pasta is because when you use oil in the pasta, it coats it. So think of yourself, or hey, this is a good example. You know, you go to the fairgrounds and that little pig chase, right? Whatever they put on the pig and you can't catch it. Well, that's what happens to the sauce on the pasta. Put oil on the pasta, it coats the pasta, and then it won't adhere for the sauce. So that's just something we don't want to do. All right, we're going to put just a little bit of pasta because you guys don't look too hungry. And I'm going to take this back in a second.
Rations.
There you go. We're rationing it out for you there, buddy. All right, let's get this back over here. So I have a little room, and let's get some sauce on these plates, all right? And the braciole. Here we go. We got the braciole. You got forks and knives there, guys?
Yep.
We do.
Yeah, you're all set?
Ready to go.
With a meatball. And a piece of sausage. Just because it's not much time left in our show, you don't get a lot because it would take forever to eat all of this. And I have a feeling some people out there would love to try some of it. So, haha. When in doubt, just spoon it out. Here we go. Does that look good, guys?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
awesome.
it does.
Think something you do back at the station?
Absolutely.
Get some nice pieces of garlic in there. Some of the meatball breaks up, so it creates a nice little sauce. Grated cheese?
Sure.
All right. Oh, you know what we need? We need some bread. Gotta pull that out before it gets there. Don't worry, Mike, I'm not forgetting you.
Don't burn my bread.
Voila, perfect garlic bread. And you don't need to overcook it. You don't need to toast it too heavy. You just want to get this nice browning on it. That's going to go great with the flavors you have in front of you. All right, so sausage, meatballs. What else we got in here? We got the pork braciole. We got to get those. Ooh, that one's for you. This one had your name on it all over. All right. Think I have fun doing this? Or what?
A little bit.
Yeah, it's a tough life. This is what I do for a living. I feed people. Ta-da! A little grated cheese for you. What did I do with that? There we go. All right, so that sauce that's in front of me, that's going to cook down, and that'll be perfect. Oh, you got a little stuff on the side. That's right.
Bonus.
Well, I guess that's it, everybody. There. Dan, Mike, thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's been great to have you on. We have a great couple of guys here from Keens Fire Department. We had a great meal from a grandma's kitchen, and we've had a lot of fun. And I'm Luca Paris. I'll see you next time on A Culinary Journey.